Good morning, everybody. Theresa here. It is September 10th, 2015, Thursday morning. It is 11 o'clock a.m. here in Wyoming. I've been up for about 45 minutes or so. It is 55 degrees out right now. It will be up to 78 and down to 42. Really enjoying the cooler temperatures today. Lately. That's been really nice. I feel kind of like in a funk today, so I haven't even exercised yet. I don't know. I've been feeling kind of in a funk the last few days. No particular reason why. I don't know. You know how you go through those spells where you just kind of keep to yourself and I don't know. I think it's probably a seasonal change thing. I feel kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't lost more weight than I have. I've only lost 25 pounds so far through this journey. Yeah, and I know, okay, at least I'm not gaining, but I'd hope to lose more than that before surgery. And I know I will once they put you on that pre-diet, that liquid diet. But yeah, that's oxygen hose line. But I need to get over that. It is what it is, right? What else? Like I said, feeling in a funk, so I haven't exercised yet. I'm going to exercise probably closer to evening time. I'm going to go in and ride the bike. I'm going to up that to 10 minutes now. So, because I've been doing it first thing when I get up, but as I increase the time, then that's longer that my dogs have to wait to be attended to again. The senior dog needs to be fed again. The other dogs want to go out again, because my husband leaves for work about 7:30. So, by then they want to be out again. I want to, and since I've been staying up later and then I've been sleeping in later, I need to take medication and get some breakfast and la-di-da-di-da. So, yeah. I think it'll just work out better if I just do my exercising later on. It's really hard for me I'm not one of these people that can really just spring out of bed and just exercise just first thing in the morning. I never have been that way. I got some cleaning I should do today. I'm not sure if I will or not. I really do need to vacuum. I did all the dishes last night, or most of them. There's a few big things that need to soak. And tonight I'm going to make oven fried chicken, and I want to make that eggplant. Well, that'll work, because I just thought of that. I don't really have enough potatoes to do oven fried potatoes anyway. So I'm going to do the eggplant, and I have 2 eggplants I bought. I've never cooked eggplant before. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to oven fry that with the chicken. And then something else. I'm not sure what else. We'll have something else with it, of course. Let's see. Mainly what I really want to do is sit and do some more looming. I'm finally gotten used to that. Yeah, let me move you guys for just a second so I can grab my looming board. I finally have gotten used to that one stitch, which I'm doing 2 E-wraps and then a purl stitch. And I gotta tell you guys, it's turning out really, really, wow. I'm not sure what that's all about. I'm gonna have to work that in. But it is turning out really nice. I mean, you can't really see it on there. Maybe you can now. But, of course, that's the back side. This front side. Here, now let me show you guys the front side. It's really nice. So, That's a commissioned Afghan I'm working on. It's going to be in the Indiana coat colors of white and blue with a little bit of gray. But I love that new red heart. It's called the Peppermint Throw. They've got a full video on YouTube here. And though I'm not a very good crocheter, I want to try that. I have a gal who might be interested in purchasing one. And anyway, I'd like to try it. Try something different. So I'm going to work on that today for sure. Probably going to work on that here when I get done with this. And I don't know. We didn't get the checking account done yet. We're going to do that on the 16th because I have another appointment with the surgeon, with the weight loss surgery surgeon. And so after we get done there, then we're going to go open up the checking account. And then my husband will call that day and get the PayPal thing straightened out, get new cards issued, la-di-da-di-da. So, yeah, we'll get that all taken care of. And so then I can start listing on Etsy to move some of this stuff. So we can build a little business to help, like I said, what our goal is for my husband to be able to retire all the way and us to move, sell this house, move, buy something inexpensive there. We don't need anything real big, but we would like some acreage. We would like, 5 to 6 acres. Because, we want to have fruit trees and we want to have some animals and stuff. Not for raising to eat, but just to have kind of as pets. I don't know. We want to have a couple goats, help keep, because like living lawnmowers. And, I want to have a pig, just because I've always wanted a pig. And my husband said no chickens. So, but, get moved to a warmer climate and everything. And we want to have a little side business of the jewelry making. My husband does wood working, and he does the tumbling of rocks. I do the crocheted items, plus he makes birdhouses and then I paint them. I decoratively paint them and, signs and stuff. So we want to get a little part-time business set up to help supplement the income, because living on just retirement, we'll be tight. So that's what our dream is anyway, because my husband is just, I don't know, his back is just had it, and, he comes home and he's got the diabetic neuropathy so bad that his feet are totally numb. So when he'll be dragging one of his legs, I can tell his back is really hurting. So that's what our dreams and our hopes are. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, like I said, part of the reasons I make these is kind of as a, I call it one old fat woman's documentary here. Is, you feel like, geez, as you get older and stuff, that your grandchildren and even your children and stuff won't know certain details of the past, stories, and won't know what people really were like, people that were near and dear to you. And one of those, for me, is my grandmother, who, she's passed now, and she was one of the most important people for the longest time in my life. she would let me climb up in her lap, and she would wrap me in one of my great-grandmother's wonderful homemade Afghans. And she would hold me there. And my grandmother always had lazy boy rocking chairs. And she always had a matching set. One for her, one for her grandpa. And she always had a great big front room. But anyway, it didn't matter how many people were around. Usually the whole family was around. She would let me do that. That was the only person I felt like really ever really held me and I knew I was loved. She always defended me and got on my mother about the way my mother treated me. To me, my grandmother was just, her name was Maxine. Well, her real name was Betty, but her middle name was Maxine, and that's what everybody called her. Since my grandparents owned bowling alley and stuff, she was always very active in the bowling, of course. And she was even Wyoming State Secretary for many, many years. In fact, she's in the Hall of Fame, I guess, of bowling. But she always had bright red hair, which she kept done up until she had to have a brain tumor removed. And she always wore makeup. And I mean, back then it was called pancake makeup, and yeah, it was quite a bit of it. But she always wore makeup, she always smelled good, she always was dressed up, and I mean, like I said, this is all before her brain tumor, before the removal. Once that was removed, I think it caused some brain damage. She massively changed, But she was just a wonderful lady. I mean, I always, she certainly had her faults, but I always really admired, and still do to this day, how headstrong she was about just being herself. She was heavy set too, not as large as I am, but she was heavy. So was my mother and my great grandmother, and I've seen pictures of the women in our family before that, and they were of my size and stuff. It's definitely part of it is genetic, that German stock. But she always marched to her own drummer. She always would stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning and then sleep till, kind of like I do now, till about 10. And she made no bones about that. It was just how she was. And whenever I used to complain about my weight, she would say, well, do you want to be a skinny corpse, or do you want to, enjoy life? And I agree with that to a point. I've got enough physical problems now that, yes, I have to lose the weight because I won't be around if I don't. Sadly, the smoking. She was a chronic smoker, and she smoked the Pall Mall unfiltered. The smoking is what did her in, and she was on oxygen for many, many years. But she changed, and she wasn't as nice once she had the brain tumor removed. Now, this was a really big tumor, and it was laying right on her optic nerves. And we had to go down to Denver to have it done. And the whole family went down, and she even tried, bless her heart, took us all to an amusement park, all of us grandkids, because, the chances of her surviving the surgery were not good. And wanted to spend all of us a day of really enjoying that. But the tumor was really large, and this is back when they would take they would saw off the top of the head, you know, literally. I mean, she had permanent borehole that was sunk in, you know, where the bone never formed again. She's still beautiful to me. But doing the surgery, I think did affect her. I think she had some brain damage from that, and it also they had to cut her her sense of smell nerve, or whatever, her olfactory nerve was compromised during the surgery, so she could no longer smell. It saved her life, no doubt about it. And then I think it was too just the deprivation of oxygen, because then later on she got very, very sick. And this was probably in 1987. Yeah, 1987. Got very, very sick and was in the hospital in ICU. And then, you know, she was in congestive heart failure. She had COPD. Both my grandparents were chronic smokers, and both of them, you know, had massive lung diseases and on oxygen and everything. Very prevalent in my family. My mother is on it now too. She was a chronic smoker. I was a chronic smoker for 28 years. I'm 2 years clean now. Yay! But I really loved my grandmother. I learned a lot of really good traits from her. I still think about her all the time, even though as she got older, she got meaner, and I had to, the last few years of her life, just stay away because, you know, I just couldn't take how mean she was anymore. You know, that wasn't my grandmother. But I loved my grandmother very much. And I still think of her. And in fact, when my granddaughter was born, I swear that I saw my grandmother up at that hospital. My grandmother had this thing that if she came up to the hospital, she was called, you were in labor, and she came up to the hospital and she was dressed in all pink. That meant you were going to have a girl. Now, she did it with my first daughter, and, you know, definitely all girl. And she did it in thought on my second one. She was too sick, you know, wasn't feeling well to be able to go up there at that point in time. But I swear I saw her dressed all in pink. And I know she came to me in a dream the night before my granddaughter Emma was born. And it's the first thing I thought of when Emma was born is my grandmother would have loved Emma to death. My grandmother and I are the same way. We really don't know what to do with little boys. Little girls, we know. The little boys, because my grandmother and I both had 2 daughters. And they were even the same months apart, 21 months apart. You know, so, you know, it's uncanny. We're both born on holiday. She was born on Christmas Eve Day, and I'm born on July 4th. You know, so, you know, but, yeah. My grandmother was a great lady. Really loved her, really respected her. You know, really respected her. She always made me feel very loved when I was a kid and accepted and stuff. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that. Like I said, I know that, you know, someday some of my family may want to, hey, I wonder what my mother, or wonder what Anna thought about this or that, or how she felt about this or that. And, you know, this tells them. But anyway, I hope everybody is having a great day. I think you're awesome. And remember that I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.